Hello, everybody. How's it going? Let me just stop sharing real quick and figure out how to do this. Gosh dang. Let's see who's on. Hi, Kirk. Hi, Anita. Hi, Tyler. How you guys doing?
Hey, Austin.
Hello. I think I have two monitors here, and one of them is super long and one of them is super tall. And it's not showing up your guys' faces. If I could do that. Oh, there's Kirk. Hi. Okay. So we're going to go over opportunities today, and I'm going to try to go over as much as I can. There's a lot to it, and a lot of it does pertain to the transaction itself. So there's some things that we can't necessarily go over, at least I can't, because in order to do so, I have to have a physical transaction, and I don't have any of those. But as I go along, if you have any questions or anything doesn't make sense, chime in and we'll go over it. We'll stop and go over it. Okay. So I'm gonna actually modify. I know that last time I did this on my computer, because of that wider screen, it threw off your guys' orientate, like the dimensions on your screen. So I'm gonna try to readjust the my browser so it doesn't look funky on your end. And then let's go ahead and share. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So let me log in real quick. Let's get rid of some of these just so it's not cluttering around. Okay. So going into opportunities. So if you haven't touched opportunities yet, it's a little handshake button. But when you go into this, you're going to see a lot of things here. All that you need to know is this is just a dashboard. You can't necessarily do anything crazy on this page, but it is mainly for your benefit of just seeing some fun statistics. For example, when you first look at this, you see the green and is that a red and orange? My screen, it's orange. Might be red and orange. Orangish red bar indicating listings and buyers, the roadmap from cultivating to closed. And then down here you have leases. So if you happen to have any of those in like a commercial setting, that's what you would use there. On the right-hand side, you're going to see something called GCI, the gross commission income. You have your potential income and your probable income. So it does have a little description at the bottom, but I found that sometimes it doesn't help. Just to kind of give you an idea, potential income is butterflies and rainbows. Everything is 100% ideal. Everybody who's in all 5 of these stages, they all go to closing. That is potential income. Probable income is there's actually percentages in each of these sections. So if I go into active, for example, you're going to see a percentage here, 70%, 80%, 90%. And the percentage goes up as people move along this line, right? Because the closer they are to, if you go under contract, the closer they are to something like escrow, inspections, appraisal, there's a 90% chance is what they have as a setting here for them to close. You can modify this if you want. If you happen to see that it's like, man, it is definitely not 90%, it's 80, or whatever, or it's 95%, you can modify this. But what that does is the probable income takes those percentages into calculation or into account. And depending on where people are, whether they're of 8, which I think that's in like the 5% range, 5 to 10%, it will measure that probable income based off of that percentage. So it's kind of it's a fun little just what is the ideal situation and what is probably going to happen. It's kind of fun to look at. You'll see on each of these, though, under the 5 stages, a little number. That number indicates how many people are in each of those sections. And you'll see how much volume that's based off of the listing price or what they're planning on buying, what like their price range, their ideal range is, right? That's going to show you how much volume is in each of those sections. And the average time is how long people are sitting there in those stages. So if you're noticing, man, the active stage, or the active phase, there's the time's increasing. It used to be, they were in that stage for 25 days, and now it's 40 days. Like what's going on? And see, you can kind of use that as a metric to see where's the bottlenecks, like what's changing. It could be market related. It could be something that you may need to change and improve on and try to help expedite that process. I know a lot of it is red tape or just the market, but it is just something good for you to know. But you may not worry too much about that if you don't care. But that's just the overview of the dashboard. But a lot of what you're going to be focusing on is within the opportunity itself. So right now I see a number of tabs up here. One, I am on we have a test, like we have a team test account, I guess, for all the staff that we can mess with, so we can see how a team opportunity setting looks like. So if you happen to be on a team, this is what it would look like. You have your own here, you'll have your name, your personal opportunities, and then a team opportunities account where everybody on your team can see what's happening. But I'm going to go into my own. I can see actually there's one in appointment already. And then I can click on that to go access where that person is. It looks like Tony Stark is in scheduling phase or scheduling stage. But I can also, if you happen to have a lot of listings, you don't remember where someone is, you can go into all opportunities. And this is going to list it down in order, and you can just click on which one you need, and it's going to take it right to that opportunity card. Does that all make sense? Anybody have any questions about the dashboard or anything that I've covered so far? I know I went quick on that because I didn't want to go too much into it. Perfect. Tyler, you just unmuted. Oh, and you remuted.
Sorry, no, I'm all good. I meant to say no.
Oh no, you're good. And Tyler, actually, we're meeting tomorrow. So hey,
Yep.
you're actually going more in depth than I would tomorrow, and I will skip this for tomorrow for you to save you time. So there you go.
Deal.
There we go. We can focus on more of the other stuff. So let me go into one of these. Actually, no, I lied. I'm going to start from scratch. Let me do something real quick. Boop, boop, and I'll get back to what I just did. We'll just go in order so it's not jumbled all over the place. So right now I have a clean slate. Nothing's here. When you want to create an opportunity, this is how you do it. So when you click create opportunity, this window is going to pop up and you're going to see that red asterisk. That's things that are necessary and required in order to complete this opportunity contact card. So for example, you're going to have to select what opportunity type is it? Where are they? Or what one are they? A listing? Are they a buyer? Are they a tenant landlord? And that would go into leasing roadmap. But let's say they're a listing. Let's say they're a listing. The client, this will pull from your database. So you need to have them in your database when you want to add them in the opportunities. So make sure they're there. But when you go, I'm going to put Tony Stark in again. I click on it. Tony Stark pulls up. It's going to have this as the name. By default, you can change this if you want. You can put in Tony Stark listing 123 Main Street. You can put some custom tags in if you want. These tags are isolated from the contact tags. So any tags you have there, don't pull open. Like if I have open house, yeah. So I have an open house tag and it's not showing up. Or if I put KPP, yeah, nothing shows up. So these are tags that are isolated from it. So feel free to create tags that are pertinent to the opportunities and things that you want to have there, because they'll be completely isolated. So then you go in, you put in an estimated close date. If you don't know, put in a rough idea of where it may be. You can modify this later. And it's not required when creating this, but it's always good to know just so you have something in there. Estimated listing price. So let's just put 600,000, and you can change this as well, especially when you know exactly what it is going to be. Commission rate, I'll just put 2.5. And then you just select the phase. So the phases are those 5 sections, and we're just going to go right into active, because sometimes, there may be times where you don't necessarily put anyone straight into cultivator to appointment, right? You may just put them straight into active. And let's put the phase is staging. So when I create this, it's going to pull open immediately that card, and you'll see a handful of things up here on the tab. First, you're going to actually see the name of the opportunity. You're going to see the details tab. You see the seller profile, documents, offers and commissions, and then notes and timeline. But the first thing you're going to want to do, especially if it's a listing, you're going to want to go select that listing. You want to make sure that there is a listing like on this opportunity. So I'm not going to put 123 Main Street, probably not a thing. Let me go and put in, actually I'm going to do 97224. Let me just, Yeah. When I try to search here, nothing's going to show up because I have no listings. And by default, it does show up as only my listings. So keep that in mind. There have been some reports that when you have a listing, you put it into RMLS, everything's good to go. Sometimes it's still in command may not automatically connect to you. So if you have a situation where you try to search for a listing that you are connected to and it doesn't show up, just go here and make sure it just switches to all listings, and that'll show up everything in the KWLS. But I'm just gonna put our zip code. Is it actually gonna show up with the zip code? Let's see. It's not. Let me put a lake. So we go. There we go. So I'm gonna find a home. Status. Let's make sure it's for sale. Let's go this one. Beautiful. 2.65 million. So let's say I want to select this one. When I select it, now that address is connected to that opportunity. And if you need to go and modify the title of this, we should be able to take a look real quick. Oh, go back. Let's see. Oh, I did not press the right button. Let's go back. Roll back. There. Okay, so I'm going to go from this card, click on it, and client updates. Let's see. No, Tanya, what am I missing here? Where to go? Oh, edit property, edit general information. Gosh darn it, there it is, guys. Okay, so under details, there's little icons. These allow you to edit the actual general information. I was trying to find it up there for some reason. So you can take this and just change it to the 4247. I can't read the rest, so I'll just leave it like that.
Am I making you nervous being on here?
You're making me nervous. No, you're good.
Wait, can you
but
click
yeah,
on
you
the
can-
client updates? Because that's changed.
The client updates? Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we can go into that.
No, click on that real quick. It changed.
Here, let's do this real quick.
That's awesome.
So just to kind of round up here, so you can add more information as you have like appointment scheduled, appointment date, agreement one, all that information here, as well as any other information if there's property stuff you have to add, and the seller's worksheet as well. So buyer's agent commission, seller agent commission, mortgage balance, all that you can add here, so you don't have to.
Can I interject here real quick?
Yeah,
The
you're good.
section that says property, you have to have an address in that section in order for it to come up into the commissions. So when you go to do commissions, if it doesn't let you do it, it's missing that. That's what it's missing. It'll take you there to fix it. But if you just do it right off the bat, usually on a listing, it'll get in there, but on a buyer end, you won't unless you
Yeah.
manually enter it.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I didn't think
Austin,
about that. Yeah.
one other quick comment. Heather, when she gets the commission checks in, she looks for the address and opportunities. So if there like a name and then dash, she may or may not find that. And so what I do, as soon as I have a buyer and I get it under contract, I change the opportunity to the address of the property so Heather can tag it when the commission check comes.
So you just change this whole thing.
I change that to the property address. Yes.
That's a
Yeah,
great
you
idea.
can
So
you can put the person's name at the end if you want,
do this.
but she does need the address in there.
Yeah. Otherwise, she doesn't know how
It
Does-
takes longer to find to
Right.
get you paid.
Like that.
That's the most
Yeah.
important part.
Mhm.
Good to know. No, that's great. That's great input. See, I wouldn't have known that just off of the nuances of Heather's side of things, right? No, thank you, Kirk. I appreciate that. So yeah, when you do get to that point, make sure you do, if you for your sake and for Heather's sake, switch it. Otherwise, you can start this way, like do something like this and just have it as the habit, so that you don't have to remember to update it later. Or you can even make it a task, like and we'll go through tasks and how that's set up. If you wanted to have it the other way, where the name's first, and then remind yourself to update it later before it's sent over to Heather. Okay, but yeah, let's go into client updates real quick. So in the top right on the card for Tony Stark, there is this client update. So it says you can send daily progress emails to the person by clicking here, sending it at a specific time, who it's sent from, which it should be from you anyway, right? And then what will happen is this will pull any updates that you, or any tasks that you have associated with this opportunity in each of the phases, as you complete them and as you finish them, it's going to send them an email. It's just giving them a transparent update saying, here's what I've accomplished for you today, or this is what we've completed, so that they know where you are and where they are on the home buying or the home selling process, so they're not missing anything. So it's super helpful to have that,
I
because
like that they brought it in over here instead of taking you all the way over to the settings.
yeah, no, that is super nice. And you can make it specific to specific people. So if you know
instead
that they're
of-
not going to be up at 7:30 or they're working in the middle of the day, you can change this for each specific person. Like, they're going to be there at 12:30 in the afternoon, and that's where they want to
when
have
the best time to read emails are.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that. Couple of things on here. One thing while I'm looking at it. So right here, it says lost opportunity. If you happen to have a situation where an agreement falls through, you don't have that anymore, you can just click here and say lost opportunity. What this does is it doesn't necessarily archive the opportunity, but it takes it out of the way, but it puts it into your metrics, so that when you're looking back into your reports and you want to see, it's good to not just see the successes, but also see where things have fallen through. And so you can go look at your metrics and see where they're where you can improve. Like, why did it fall through? Like, why are there certain people falling through at this certain stage, or this certain time of the year, whatever it is. This lost opportunity button allows you to keep it on your record personally to benefit you. If you go and archive it, it goes into the back end of the settings, where it's still stored there. You'd have to go completely 100% delete it. It's kind of like putting in a recycling bin on the computer. Like, it doesn't officially go away, but it's out of there, but it doesn't attribute to your metrics. Does that make sense? Yeah.
So what's the point of archive? Like, do you do that for opportunities that you're done with, or do you just leave them?
With opportunities that you're done with.
Okay, wait. Repeat the question, Danielle.
I'm wondering, like, if with opportunities that you're done with, like, say there was an opportunity, you had a listing, and it's closed, right? Do you archive it, or do you just
No,
leave
you
it?
drag it up to close.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed the first couple of minutes, so I hope you didn't.
No, you're good.
Sorry if you covered that.
No, we haven't yet. That's
Okay.
a good question.
Drag it to closed. But you want to make sure that within that there are closing documents that you have to submit.
Mhm.
Kelly, but then once that's done, drag it to close, because you're going to want to be able to go back and find your transactions for like the year, and you can do that by changing the view of how it's switching from board view to list view. They changed that too.
Oh, that's cool.
Wait, Austin, scroll all the way up.
That's
No, go back.
Oh, back to
Hit the
board
little
view?
back button. No, next to where it says listings active, hit the back button.
Listings back this?
No, up. Not
Here?
right. No, there's a little
Oh,
house
that.
next where it's, yes,
I'm like,
that one.
what are you talking
Okay.
about?
When you click on all opportunities, by keeping them, you don't want to archive. Archive means that those are the ones you want that died, that you don't need, that didn't list, or whatever it is. Archive those. If you close them, though, you want to have them here so that now you can come in and you can filter and you can search for all of last year's or last month's, if you want to go track your transactions that you've had for the year or the month by month, right? So
Okay,
that's what
got
that's
it.
for.
Well, that's what I was mentioning though, Tanya, with an opportunity. Let me go back into Tony Stark. So right here, this lost opportunity, this, I don't know if it's new or what, but this lost opportunity, it's saying like you had the appointments, you were going through something and something happened where it fell through, right? Like the client they made a decision to no longer list or no longer buy and not have that agreement with you. And so it's not necessarily, I think the archive is like you're purging it out of your opportunities completely. Whereas lost opportunity keeps it there, but it gets it out of your roadmap, but it keeps it there kind of for your metrics. Like it won't clutter up your appointment section or your close section or anything like that, right? It's just there to keep it.
Command tracks everything that you do on the back side, and so it helps with that. So you know conversion rates, how many actually go through, all the important information that you're gonna want to know in a couple years.
Yes, exactly. And so that's the option for you. You can archive the way you can, and I'll go back and show you that. If I go click on like Tony Stark's account, oh, I'm back here. I can, where is it? Oh, go back to board view. You can click on these 3 dots and go to archive opportunity. This is going to go, it's going to pull it into your settings here. And there's the area in your settings where you can go and completely like confirm, delete the opportunity. You can actually even pull archived opportunities out again. So the archive is essentially just a safety net in case you do need it back at some point. You can keep things in the archive forever if you want, but there is a way to just completely purge it out if you need to. Going back into here. So I do want to mention, so documents. So documents, when you go and you want to start setting up all of your documents that you need, what you're going to do is click start a transaction. From here, it's going to pull you into DocuSign. Obviously, I don't it's set up. Melanie's showing up. Hey, all right. Not sure why I use Heather's. But when you do that, you'll probably see, let me actually pull it up, what it looks like. Oh, not answers, actually. I want to go, let me go to the website real quick. This is the fastest way. Command your business. By the way, if you ever need to do a quick little rundown of any of the aspects of command, if you go into the technology tab and go to command your business, this pulls open pretty much a self-learning training sessions with like super small tidbits, like snapshots. So if I were to go down to opportunities right here, recommended training, oh, where'd it go? And then it pulls open a bunch of different things you can do. You click on it, it tells you how long it is. That's long, but 3 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes. But there is a section I want to show you just so I can show you the pictures of it. Folders. Let's go here real quick. So when you have your documents, it's going to look something similar to this. You're going to have your status, and after this reviewed, it'll have approved, or it'll have like a, what is it? Is it yellow or red? Red if it hasn't been submitted. Is it yellow if it needs, or is it? Do you know, Tanya? Yellow, what color coding it is for if it needs adjusting?
The color code. Well, red is required.
Yeah, well, like for requirement, but there's like, is there a color code for status? If it's not, if it's like,
If he rejects it, it's red.
Yes, it's red if it's rejected.
rejected. Yeah, so you'll be able to see this here. You'll be able to click on these 3 dots to upload the file directly. But one thing I did want to show you is actually the custom folders. You can create custom folders. And so if you want to go, you can go right here, click them. And then I think in this, I think it does talk about like offers received. So maybe not necessarily you want to put every single, you only want whatever offers accepted, right? But let's say you just want to have all the offers that have been received for this listing. You want to have all of them here in a single folder. You can create a custom folder just for offers received, or you can create a folder.
Austin, he's got to review all offers have to be reviewed. You have to submit them all.
Sorry, say that again.
You have to submit all your offers.
Everything
yeah.
that has been
He's
signed.
got to review them even if they're rejected.
Okay, yeah, no, perfect. Well, good to know. But you can also do things like this where you can list pictures, have the listing photos or listing pictures, and have them on their opportunity as well. So there's other options like that. And no, that's good to know as well. See, here's the thing. I haven't gotten to that part in my exam study.
It's not going to be in your exam.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, then I will learn it in workshop when I go to those.
One of Tanya's classes.
One of Tanya's classes, when I'm not working my tail off during the classes. How about that?
What-
No, call out when I'm not saying something right, but I know the tech, just the
What I
process
do
of
on your screen where it says pick checklist type.
Yeah.
If you click that, that'll tell you what you're doing.
there you go. Residential, vacant, commercial. So it'll probably be that, right? Boom. Oh, hey, look at that, guys. Yeah, so then there you'll see where it's not.
Bonus. Everything that says required is going to be a document you're going to need to have your buyers or your sellers sign. So that's a great place to come and get a list of what you need to upload into zip forms to have filled out before the transaction's over.
Yeah. No, this is great. So yeah, so if you have any questions about this, you can reach out to, like, I know Tanya and Kelly, they have classes on this all the time. And so keep an eye out on the calendar when those things pop up. But definitely but the thing is every single time they do have a workshop, when they talk about these things, more information pops up, new things are like maybe there's something that has changed that's required or whatever. So definitely keep an eye out. You don't want to miss those things, especially when it's sensitive.
Something new that I wasn't aware of, but they changed over where you attach your files.
Yes, I did notice that.
Automatically browses your computer, which typically is where we have both signed parties documents. However, you need to go to where it says attach files from, and it says my computer manual, and hit that drop down, go up right there. And that's where you can get from DocuSign, or if you have it in one of the custom folders over on the side. Although now that it has DocuSign, when you go to the listing agreement and you do the drop down, he's not connected. So that's why it's not, there's no documents in his DocuSign. But when you click that and it does a drop down window, it's very limited on what it tells you, and it's actually quite annoying. You really need to know what the name of each of your documents in DocuSign are. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time finding them, and it'll probably be easier just to save them to your computer and upload directly from there. I don't like this fix that they did.
Yeah.
Just as a quick thing, what I've gotten to so I can know where things are at is I always, when I'm in a transaction, I will put the seller to the buyer on that, and then I always save that as a transaction, so I always know that that goes to that transaction. And otherwise, if you download it to your desktop, sometimes it just says residential sales agreement, and whose is it? Who does it belong to? Client A, client B, client C. So I always put the seller to this buyer, and then the address, and then that way I can identify it whenever I need to pull it up. And then on listings, I just use the address of the property. So I just pull them up that way. I save all my file folders in that manner, so they're easy to find.
That's right. Make your life easier. Simplify your time, right?
Because you could have, I mean, you could download 15 residential sales agreements, and which one of the 15 is it? Open them all up and figure it out. But if you label them up front, it makes it a lot easier.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I think I have heard two methods of adding them, and that's why they have these two options for My Computer and DocuSign. Some people, they like the direct from DocuSign option, because we do have your DocuSign connected and linked through the settings, so you just pull them straight in. Some people do like to have a physical copy, or a local copy of their documents on their computer, just for their safekeeping. So you can do that as well. And that's why that option there is for your computer. Like you just download it from DocuSign and then re-upload it. The DocuSign option just allows that just to skip that extra step and have it go seamlessly straight to command. So whatever tickles your fancy, we won't be offended either way, as long as it's done. So, but going into, actually, is there anything else we should probably add onto this? Any questions?
Just make sure you submit every single time you get a document signed. It's got to be submitted to Kelly within 72 hours of it being signed. So it's okay if you send a document every day because you have a new signed document. It gives him time to make sure he gets it reviewed before his time period that he has. Stay in compliance.
And Austin, one other thing, if the item isn't listed on there, if you get something, there's 3 little dots over there. If you click on them, it'll say add a document. And so you can add, so like if you have like 4 or 5 addendums, you can add another addendum, and it will push it down through the bottom.
Oh, great. No, good to know. So you can, okay. You can add the document name. I don't know, I was showing all the newsletter stuff. But then you can just either through DocuSign, same idea, DocuSign My Computer and custom folders, and click save. Awesome. That's good to know. Thank you. Let's see, should we do anything on the seller profile itself? I mean, not necessarily. Let's go into offers and commissions. So here, if you have any offers, you can add the offers here. let's say initial offer, create offer, what the offer date was, what the close date was, add the parties. So you can add the buyer and the seller. Of course, seller will automatically populate, and then add the representation for each of those, who you as the agent and who the buyer's agent is. And then go in and, no, I have to add something. All right, who, oh man, Scott Lang. That's Ant-Man if anyone wants to know. And let's go, I don't know why, Pepper Potts. That's Tony Stark's wife. Okay, don't know why she's representing Scott. But then the sales price, so cash finance amount, it's going to go into this. I'm not going to go this past this part, but you are able to add all the custom terms that you need here, including the earnest amount, the option fee, and any. And this isn't okay. No, I actually don't want to point out. This is mainly for your. Is this? And correct me if I'm wrong, Tanya. This is for your. Mainly for your benefit. Of course, you still have to sign the contract. You still have to have it in the contract when the termination would be, right? You can't just say it's here done,
No,
right?
there's no termination option.
Well, like the buyer will give notice of termination within blank days after contract.
Option fee, termination option. You don't need to have those to move further on this. All you need to have is the financing and the earnest money.
So you don't have. I mean, this isn't. So what would you use this for?
We don't use it. Remember, they're dealing with multiple states.
That's true.
And they have to make this flexible for everybody.
Okay, guys, you can cross this out. If you want to go on your with a Sharpie marker and just cross it out on your monitor, so every time it shows up in that exact spot.
There you go.
There.
Great idea. The other thing, Austin, I would tell you is that if you're getting multiple offers, you enter those terms in for your seller, and it will compare the different offers for you.
Ooh. So you can't see them side by side.
Yeah, it'll show. You can do it each one, and it'll show what the net to the seller is. So if you have a listing and you get 3 offers in on it, you could do one of those for each listing. Show it to the if there's a credit, if there's whatever concessions there are, and all that. So I wouldn't take it out because it's very useful, and it gives you. It shows exactly what the seller is getting.
No, it's good to know as well. I think the idea for opportunities, right, is to try and it's to make it's to make those buyer and seller agreements that you have as easy as possible when it comes to negotiating and finding the price that your clients are comfortable with, or they're satisfied with, right? If you have to go through and have your manual spreadsheets, which some people do, things can, it's just having it all in one house makes life a lot easier, including especially when you have multiple clients across multiple different, they're across the roadmap, right? From cultivating to closed. There's so many things happening all at once. You don't want to miss a beat. You don't want to try to remember where were they? What did I miss? Have I done this? Things like that. What Opportunities does is allows it to kind of offload it onto command, get it out of your mind space, and you can focus on the now and know what you need to do, right? And I do actually want to point out how you can utilize the opportunities for that part of your business. And if you haven't, highly recommend jumping into it. Kirk, you may actually be aware of this. I think we talked about it. You and I have like almost like a one-on-one on this. But I'm going to go back into the pipeline real quick.
Wait, yeah. There's an important thing you actually skipped over.
What did we skip?
Well, when you go back into that seller profile. So if your person is actually logged in to they logged into the app or they logged into their website, then it's going to show that they're registered with the platform. And then below is where it says guide not assigned. So then it shows you which guide they have, and you can actually manage and move them to the next step. You want me to show you on mine?
Yeah, the buyer and seller guide. So these down.
So you can move. You want me to show real quick on mine?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, hang on 1 second. Let me find it. See where it's at. So can you see this?
Yeah.
So this buyer profile is registered with the consumer platform, And then it shows that he's on step 1 of 9, get pre-approved. Now, if I know we're pre-approved, I can come in and manage the guide, and I can go to the next thing that we are on. I can mark this as completed. And then when I save the change, it's going to move him through where we're at. So I can save it. And then on his end too, it's going to, next time he goes into the guide, it's your way to kind of stay talking to your client. Okay, we've completed this step. If you open up your guide, you go to the next one, it automatically moves them to the next one. And then now you can talk them through what it is. So that is your virtual guide, buyer's guide, seller's guide, that you can completely update and make it your own.
Yeah, and in order to, and in updating it, I do want to show, see, share screen. I do want to show that part, just so you're aware of where that's coming from and where she's being able to check those things off, or where it's initially made. So in your consumer tab at the very bottom, there's a tab called Guide Builder, and you can choose either a buyer or seller guide, and it's already defaulted to what this shows right now, showing your home, review offers, inspection, appraisal, and close. You can move these around if you need to, and you can add a step and change what you need, and include that card image so that it looks similar. So you can add those things to it, and then yeah, when she's checking those off, that's where it's coming from. And I think it does have an introduction as well.
Or they can check their own.
Yeah. Can they do that through the app? So you can check it for them, or they can do
They
it?
can check it on the app or on their website. So either way, you can, and if you've created your fake account like you're supposed to do, go log into your website, log into your app, and go down, click down in there at the bottom of the app where it says guide, and you can see what it looks like on their end. And you can actually check your own off, right? And then when you go log onto your computer screen, you see it both ways, right? And so then you get to see what it looks like that way, and you actually can read it better on a laptop or a desktop than the phone app.
Perfect. No, thank you for pointing that out. I was kind of I got carried away, got excited for the checklists. This is my favorite part, guys. I actually do like this because I actually use this part. Tanya and I and us as staff use it in a different aspect. We use it for agents and helping to make sure that we don't miss a beat with you guys when you join us, right? And it's the same idea with clients. As soon as you have things to do for a client, go ahead and start adding them to the opportunities. There's not any necessary need that this says like, oh, they are guaranteed to close, or there's a very high chance they're going to close. You can always drop an opportunity. You can always archive an opportunity, right? And so this is there for you to have as a checklist to be able to just, again, not miss a beat. It enhances their experience because things are happening in a timely manner, and you're able to, you have 5 people under the appointment phase, or 20 people in the cultivate phase, but you have them like, let's go actually.
It's a way to track your business.
Yeah. It's a way to track
Know
it
where your
without having to miss any tasks themselves. So let me go back to Tony Stark. You'll see right here next to on his card, you'll see a 0 of 0. If I go click on this, it's going to say there's no checklist for the stage, right? I can add items manually to this person. If I click here and add an item to do, like contact, confirm appointment, I can allow it to have a client update, which is going to notify them once it's done. And I can set a due date. And this due date is actually going to pull into your tasks. And it's going to be on your to-do list for that day, or an upcoming thing to do so that you don't miss it, right? I can click save, but here's the thing. If I do this one and I add it to Tony Stark, it's only going to be added to him. Anybody else that decides to go into the staging phase, it's not going to be added here. They're still going to show up 0 of 0. So in order to make your life easier and to, have it ready for anybody who goes through any of these stages, right at the very top, there's a section that says edit stage. When you click here, it's going to show you everything in that stage. So right now we're looking in the active phase, right? So in the active phase, there's 4 stages: staging, showing, negotiations, and there's legacy. You can rearrange these and move these to where you want. You can edit them, and you can rename them if you don't like the word staging or you want to change it to whatever. You can change that probability if you find that it's not necessarily a 50-50, it's more, a 60% chance they're going to close, or a 40%, whatever you want. depending on what you see fit. But here's where you would, or you can also, sorry, you can also add stages. So if you want more than 4 stages that are by default, you can go ahead and add a stage and say where the position is, the probability on the stage name. But here is where you would add things to the checklist. So you would just go here and you start adding items. And the thing is when you add items to this setting or this page, those will be there for every single contact that enters that stage. So as soon as they're dragged into there, if you have 7 items, it's going to say 0, 7 items. And that's for every single person. So you don't have to manually add those tasks. That'd be a lot of work. And like, you don't have to manually add those tasks every time someone goes there. So now you're probably wondering, well, how do I know what needs to be in these stages? So great news. We actually have a template, a good starting point for you. I'm going to go to the KWPP agents website, and under resources, there is this right here. It says opportunities checklist. You can click on it and it kind of gives you a little heads up on this. This isn't necessarily a 100% take everything from this and follow it to a
No,
T.
we got that from someone else somewhere else. So
Yeah, so
kind
some
of
things
look
will not
at
be
it.
applicable to Oregon or to you. So just keep that in mind, that this is a good way to start and to look and be like, how does this person have it laid out? Which I actually really do like the way they format the tasks on the to-do list, because you'll notice, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit just to make, for anyone who's using a phone or maybe or something like that, you'll notice the way they have it set up. Let's go, where were we? Under active searching. Oh, sorry, we're under buyers. At the very bottom, you can switch between the buyers and the listings. Let's go active staging. So you'll notice they have, it's almost like the action of the kind of like the what and the how, or the, what do you consider that? I don't know. But it's like do stage home, do obtain keys, DocuSign, validate disclosure. So you know what's happening, whether it's a do, if you're ordering, if it's on DocuSign, if it's an MLS, if it's in an email, you know that, and then what it is, right? I really like that format. For me, I think it resonates well in how I would want to know what I need to do. But all you would need to do here is you would just need to highlight the cell, copy it with either Control-C or Command-C. And then when you go back over to stages, when I go and edit this, I add the item, boom. And I can, again, check it. So it's client update, save. And now I add another item. I know this is going to take a second because I'm doing it on 2 separate windows, but in reality, just have your windows side by side on your monitor and just drag, like almost copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, right? That'll be a lot easier than what I'm doing. And that's it. And so as you add those, you click save, you'll now see it says 0 of 2 items. Granted, this has, how much is that? Like 12 items, 13 items. So that would be 0 of 13. But I just added 2 items. It has 2 client updates involved. And then when I go in or back to that stage, you'll see it says 0 of 2. So it's already updated. I can see what there is here that I have to do. And I can set a due date. So if I know I want to stage the home and I want to have it done by Saturday, I can click the time, I can click the date, I can say what time I want it to be at, I can click OK, and now that's set as a due date, and then it's going to show up on my to-do list. And if you happen to have the Kelly app, you will then get notifications, push notifications of what your to-do list is for the day. And that in and of itself, the set the due dates, that has to be done manually. The main reason is because every time someone comes in here, you're at a different time of the month or different time of the year. So you can't really set a standard due date for something, because
Every transaction is different.
every transaction is different too. And that's the thing is, since every transaction is different, you can manually add those things. I think, Kirk, we were talking about last time about when adding a task. It's like, let's say there's a task that's not for everyone, right? Like it's something that you don't want to forget. But it maybe happens
like a well log or a well.
Yeah, like,
right there, Kurt.
So something that doesn't happen as often, but it happens enough that you don't want to forget it. You can still add it. I actually recommend adding it to the list, because the worst case scenario, it's not applicable to that opportunity, and you just check it off anyway. At least you know you've gone through the mental checklist, or you're going through the checklist mentally. Here,
Yes.
you just check it off.
I
And so
completely
there-
agree with Austin on that. Adding everything so that you know, and it's an option there. However, if it's something like a well log that you're not doing because there isn't a well, make sure client update is not checked
Yes.
before you check it off, because then they're going to get an email the next morning that says, hey, we got the well log.
They'll be like,
And
I had a
they're
well?
gonna go, wait,
Awesome.
there's well water?
That changes everything. But yeah, so that's a good point. So yeah, you can manually make sure that the client updates are off, just have it checked off like that. Good point. But yeah, but as soon as you check those off, and actually I'm going to turn off client updates just so it's not sending to my personal email. You can check them off here. And actually, I do want to show you real quick. Let me keep that open. If I go over into my, let's see, home, see if it shows up here. Let's go tasks. So I have it set up with, let's see, opportunity tasks right here at the top here. Nothing. Oh, for today. Past due, next 7 days. There it is. So I'm in the opportunity tasks. I can see what my tasks are. I just changed it to the next 7 days, and I can see anything that's happening in the next 7 days under my task tab. And again, you can see this in your Kelly app. If you want it on a mobile to go type format, you can do that. And I can go ahead and do it here, either check it off as completed, snooze it, or just delete it. And then you can actually filter by past due if there's anything you need to do there. Let me go back. Let's go here. And then, yeah, so as I check them off, I can go ahead and just complete them. You can have it where it hides the items if they're done. And if you do that, it's just going to disappear. Honestly, like I like to see the things that are checked off. So you don't necessarily have to do that. Because it helps just kind of
That's
for
part of
my
your
mental
lead gen
management.
time in the mornings, lead
Yeah.
gen and then opportunity time. Because you also want to check in with your clients and let them know, hey, everything's going great. Did you get your email? Here's all the things we've done, right? Because even though they're getting the emails, they still want you to check in with them periodically, which should be at least once a week, giving them an update of what's happening. So it's
Mhm.
multitasking. That's your morning duties.
Yeah. And the initial setup for all those tasks, like you look at them, it's a lot. It's a lot of just copy paste, right? But again, it is setting you up for a bunch, saving a bunch of hassle down the road of not having to worry about these things. Like taking, like having to remember it on the top of your mind, right? Or even on a personal, like handwritten log, because yeah, it just helps to make sure that you can sleep at night. I know for me, if I didn't have opportunities set up for agents, I like you guys and I want to do everything to make sure everything is done right. But if I didn't have
You
opportunities set
can't
up,
do it, Austin. Don't even go there.
oh, I can't. It would be impossible. Like I wouldn't
is.
be able.
But you know what? I've mentioned to another new agent in our office, if you find that it's really easy for you to do, of course, the first time it's going to take a minute for you to go through and make sure everything's right. Or I don't know, you find out from a TC what they use for a list, and or just enter this list in, find out how long it takes you to do it. And then I bet if you went onto our Slack channel with all the new agents, or even on our Facebook group, no, probably not there, on our new agent Slack channel, and said, hey, I can enter your opportunities in for $60 because it takes me 3 hours. I bet you get a bunch of people that say, oh my God, please do it for me. So
I'm writing that down. I'm writing that down.
I think it's a great idea. Just, the right person that thinks it'd be fun. Kirk, you would pay someone to do it. Wait, you did, right?
No, I almost
Yes,
like,
I did.
shoot.
Heck, I would too, because when this first came out, we had a really bad list and all mine are wrong and old, and I need new ones. And I don't have time to do it because I'm too busy.
And actually, that brings up something that I was just thinking about. So a situation you might run into is when you first create these stages, especially if you're a new agent and maybe haven't gone through enough times and just through the opportunity roadmap itself, you may find times that on paper it made sense to have something in, let's say, the negotiations phase, but then, or let's say, actually, sorry, in the showing phase, like you thought that there was something that you know, oh, this would be in the showing phase. But then as you get there, you're realizing, wait a minute, that's not really, it's in the staging phase. It's always like that I need to have it there, like, because I always seem to get it done before I even switch people over to showing. You can go ahead and modify those. Like when you go into the editing the stages, all you have to do is just go into the one you want and just take this. And I believe you can copy, I believe, or actually, let's see. If I go, you just have to like copy this and then paste it over. Just delete it out of that one, copy it into this one. So then you don't have to worry. And then because this is fluid. This is your opportunities. Make it the way that you want it to be so that it helps you the most. If you don't want to worry about the little minute details, don't worry about them. Just do the big things. If you want to worry about those little itsy bitsy teeny weeny things, like even just sending a little letter to them at the end of it all, right? And you want to, or send like, purchase a gift or something for them for their closing, put that in there. Like of course it's not necessary for compliance or anything, but it's there for your benefit, right? Let me think, is there anything I am missing in this whole thing now that we're getting close to the end? I don't know. I mean, you can sort, that's important. If you want to sort by the closing date, you can. Actually, it's going to list view. That probably make more sense to do it there. I don't have any others, but it'll switch around. You can modify them and switch. If you have multiple in your state, in your different phases, you can move those around if you want to have them in priority, things like that. But any questions, anything that you may have?
No, you've gone over this really well, Austin. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate that. I'm glad Tanya's on because there was a couple things. This is like one of the few areas of command that I can't dive 100% into without
Being an agent.
Starting a transaction. Right. So it's like you get me into contacts, you get me into campaigns, I'll go wild. But no, I'm glad. Thank you, Tanya, for being on, and thank you, Kirk. You're a vet at this. So
Austin, remember under that before you get, you have to fill out that thing before you get paid, but then the next one, and you got to fill out the commission after offers and commissions. Okay, if you click on that one again.
Yeah, well, he has to create an offer before.
You have to create an offer, and then you have to fill out that sheet, and then it'll take you over to commission, and you got to fill out your commission sheet.
Yeah. So you have to do anything that is asterisk red on this. So if you're not dealing with multiple offers and you've already done a different net sheet for your clients or whatever, then just fill in the main asterisks there and no, back in the offers and commissions.
Yeah, I was sorry. I was
then just to get through it, just fill in the red spots and yep, and then go to the next one, and then so just put in cash, put 50,000, and then finance amount 450,000. I'm just throwing numbers in there, and then earnest money you can put in 1%, and then hit agent analysis. And then this is where you can tell your clients pros and cons about each of the offers, especially if you're doing lots, but we're not going to worry about that because all we're trying to do is just get to commission. So hit save. I wish this wasn't needed to get to commissions, but they changed it. And now you actually have to accept it. So you've entered in the offer that you've written or received, and now your clients either got accepted or accepted the offer. So hit accept. And now you can manage your commission.
And I would like to point out something. There was a situation I just had the other day with an agent who had 2 of these offers, and one of them she needed to get rid of because it was affecting I believe.
All you have to do is change the response and reject.
Yeah, so you have to go in and change the response. And it says changing.
Yes no, not yet.
Don't hit yes?
Not yet. No, I want to show them the commission.
Okay.
You got to hit manage commission next.
Boom.
So this is where you come in and you make see where it's missing a contract date because he doesn't have it in the main details. And so if you like edit general information, it'll take you right to where you need to edit. Bam, there it is. So then you put in your contract date. And then if you have a referral on here, or if it's an op city lead, you need to put those in here as a referral. So then that would be an edit agent payment. And then you would scroll down, and then down at the bottom, a referral or a deduction or a concession. If you're paying something out of your commission for it, you need to put that in there. But you do need to have the tax ID. See how it's red asterisks over there, which you should have on a referral form. So you should have everything. And then once you're done, then it will adjust everything in the transaction. If you want to go ahead and play around and do all this, you're more than welcome to. Don't ever hit submit, because then Heather's going to get notice that we have money coming in, and they're going to wonder where your transaction, and it needs to be a hot mess. It changes our books. So I say come in and practice, and then go back to the offers and commission tab. Go ahead and click on it now. And then change your response. Say yes. And now it's not going to show up as a transaction that we have. And then what you could have done with that gal is hit reject on there. And then that would have, gal or girl, guy, it would have.
Now it allows you to remove the offer.
Well, but you can still leave it in there because you want to know what all you had, right?
Yeah.
So.
There was a situation where one of the agents needed to, and I was working with Kelly. I'm like, I haven't gotten to this part. So I did learn that that's what you need to do. This was dimmed out and she was getting frustrated. Like, why can't I do it? So that's what you have to do, is you have to go in and reject it. So there was a weird situation.
Good job, Austin.
Yeah, no problem. It's good to know, because next time it cycles around, I'm gonna have a lot more information, and I'll let you know if there's any updates and opportunities as well, because I know they improve it once in a while.
And don't forget, next week we're doing commissions, or not commissions, sorry. We're doing goals and setting ourselves up for the last quarter for us to have a great first quarter, right?
Yeah, goals and commands.
We're teaching it together.
Yes, ma'am. And you'll be back, maybe, possibly.
I hope.
Thanks, Austin. Thanks, Tanya.
Yeah,
Thanks,
no
Austin.
problem.
Thanks, Tanya.
Of course. And we'll see you guys around.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Bye.
guys.